realize. Nice. Oh, that's cool. You hear ourselves? Does not seem to be working. It's definitely no Vaughn, even though it says that there's Vaughn. Maybe there is. The video's working. Just testing stuff here. So, can you hear me? Hello.
Well, I was barely 13 when the company man tried to dig my daddy's grave. It happened on a French-owned tanker ship, spilling poison into Galveston Bay. Well, the liquid fire filled his lungs and his eyes silenced any more cries. Cold in the grave, with death stinging pain, he fought like hell to keep the wolves away. For the next few years, Dad was sick as a dog, but he made a recovery just to spite the odds. The settlement came and we moved out of town, where the sky isn't heavy with refinery clouds. Yeah, he's still alive, he's doing good, he's in his 50s, but the money's running out, and he's pinching for pennies. So I'm going for broke with every song I play, 'cause now it's my turn to keep the wolves away.
Need to log in for overlays. I'm not going to do any of that.
Follow me, said a long black dress on Halloween. If this is all just make believe, it might not be real, but it's real to me. Let her in if you love her, son. It ain't no sin. Where she ends is where you begin.
Hey, we're doing a mic check. 1, 2, 3. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it was something quite atrocious. Pause that music. Hello. Hello, Moto. Oh, nice. Okay. We got it. We're live. What's up? Only took us 6 minutes. Okay. So what are we doing today? Well, number one, I'll shut this off. Let's talk about some of this stuff.
10 or 20 years to, you know, do the Mulder and Scully thing I talked about earlier. Right. Be the billionaire, the billionaire James Bond X-Files guy with you know a badge and a checkbook. I feel like you could really find some interesting stuff.
When you say that some
10 or 20 years to, you know, do the Mulder and Scully thing I talked about earlier.
something weird was.
And we wanted to have Jason on the show so he could show us his.
So, I get a live stream. Okay, we're just kind of going over some stuff that I think is going on here. Okay? And definitely this.
Well, it's not something that any Android phone. We've got this dot right here. These 3 dots create a line. And when I started talking to Zeb Boykin about this 20 frame per second video, days later, someone sent him the same video, but at 30 frames per second. Now, this is where it becomes very important. I was looking at these videos, and in order to get a 20 frame per second video from a 30 frame per second original, there's a couple of things that you could do. The most obvious would be to sort of slow it down, but then you'd play it back and you'd notice that the sound is slow, the motion is slow. There'd be certain obvious things that you could see, and these videos did not exhibit those things. Another way you could do it is you could just drop 10 frames every second, but then you'd get this sort of jerky, juddery motion that also wouldn't look natural. And I did not observe that. The other thing you could do is a complex process called optical flow, but that also creates artifacts, and I didn't observe any of that. So when I was looking at the 30 frame per second video, that's where I found this 3rd dot right here behind Charlie's head. Now, I want to be very careful to not show anything that's going to get us dinged on any of the platforms, but I'm going to switch to Adobe After Effects here, and I want to show people what I'm talking about in the difference between the 20 frame per second and the 30 frame per second video. So here we see the projectile right here. This is the 2nd dot that I just showed everybody, and it's headed towards Charlie. Now, my allegation is that this originates in a video that was shot at 240 frames per second. In the 20 frame video, you see when I advance forward, can you guys see that very acute disturbance of his shirt? It almost looks like an invisible hand is pinching the collar and pulling it up. Can you guys see that?
Yeah. It looks like someone's pinching it. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I allege is happening right there is that this is a low muzzle velocity projectile, very likely a bullet fired from an air rifle or an air pistol traveling at 500 feet per second. And I arrive at that 500 feet per second number because I've applied this scale. Now, it would be a complex mathematical problem to actually measure the distance between these dots.
I don't know how you could get any clearer. It's ridiculous. So, and then just the whole range of, you know, motion and the timeline and how he reacts and everything. They even catch the bullet flying out between his knees. So that one's ridiculous. That's definitely going on.
That the person is holding a hand here.
This is stupid. I don't believe that that guy was that guy. That's dumb. What do we gotta worry about here? This is not blood. That's a microphone. We know that. Yeah, not shot from up there at all, I don't think. And at first I actually thought it was. He says you could see a bullet flash or a muzzle flash on this window over here, and I looked so hard for so long over there through so much. And I actually figured that out, I'm pretty sure. It's actually just in the video he shows it's really blurry, but it's just somebody's shoulder, I think, coming up with a bright shirt and back down. So that's, and it's timed different. So whatever video he got shown, he was shot from the back though. You could see the bullet obviously on this, and then they have it coming out of his neck, literally poking out of the skin. It's just disgusting and terrible. And yeah, I guess they're not gonna show any of that. And then they have it falling between his knees, and then they come over and they pave or whatever. It's just pave over. I don't know what that is. This is the new shooting, which I've never even heard about, but I'm interested in watching. Let's watch this though. This is some breaking news about the United States and Venezuela and U.S. strikes coming in.
Live look there right now, and I wanted to recap what we do know, as this is a developing story. As I've been sharing here, we are learning a lot of this with you, the viewers, in real time as we keep combing social media here from the Trump administration to see if we have gotten any additional information coming out. But you're taking that live look there at Venezuela this morning. If you are just joining us on Live Now from Fox, the United States hit Venezuela with this large-scale attack, this happening earlier today, and saying its president, Nicolas Maduro, as well as his wife, has been captured and flown out of the country after months of stepped-up pressure by Washington. A nighttime operation announced by President Trump on social media hours after the attack. He posted that at around 4:30 a.m. Eastern time today. Let's pull that up for you once again here. This post from the president. In this post, we did learn that Maduro has been captured along with his wife, as we just shared with you. This operation done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. And we do know that details are to follow because President Trump said there will be this news conference today at 11 a.m. Eastern time in just about a few hours from now, and that's going to be held at Mar-a-Lago. He ends it by saying, thank you for your attention to this matter. So there are still several questions here when it comes to all of this, and we're hoping to learn a few of those answers. It's not immediately clear who's running the country right now, and it's also unclear about Maduro's whereabouts. That's not immediately known at this time. And I do want to put this back up on your screen here, this live look out of Venezuela. At least 7 blasts in the Venezuelan capital sent people rushing into the streets, while others were sharing video to social media. And also, we're unclear at this time if there were any casualties, but we do know that the apparent attack itself lasted less than 30 minutes, but it was unclear if more actions lay ahead. This all coming after the U.S. military has been attacking boats in the Caribbean Sea and the East.
Let's just remind everybody why we're really here. I don't care about anything that these guys are doing. I have my own stuff going on. Let's we'll close out the screen real quick. So I can sign into this. Okay, guys. Okay, so I don't believe in anything except for democracy because I've invented a system that's called liquid democracy. And you could go to somebody's site or go to somebody's profile, give them your vote. So I delegated his city vote to him. And you could take it back at any time. So yeah. This is my website. It's called Liquid Democracy. That's how that works. So city, state, nation, and a global vote. So we could all come together on things. You come over here to the Courts and Charities tab. This is Liquid Democracy, a whole video on it for you guys to watch this.
Like Germany in our example here, do not share one common public space where all citizens could meet. Reaching an understanding about common issues merely by talking them over is unfeasible for the amount of people that would have to be included in our modern societies. The problems of our time are very much different from those of ancient Greece in three ways. Because of the diversity among our citizens, mitigating their issues is far more complex. Moreover, to be a citizen today is no longer a vocation. Unlike the man of Athens, we usually have to work to earn a living and do not have the time to spend all of our day pondering and discussing political issues. That may be part of the reason why many people today feel they do not have the adequate expert knowledge about those issues to contribute to the political sphere. What most modern democracies do instead, then, is have designated representatives from the populace devote their full time to be...
Now, okay, so representative democracy, right? They gave their votes to people because they all couldn't get in the same spot. It became absolutely impossible. Not true anymore. We could all vote on anything at any time. So you go here, charities, votes, and you could vote on anything you want. You vote, give your votes to food, water, allocate your vote. And it splits up the pot. So this is how we'll delegate. We're not doing laws and stuff on my website. We're just doing charity funds. And if you build a project, like I have a project, Snow. If you build a project, it'll go on to the voting thing, so you can get money allocated to you. So that's what I believe in. I believe in democracy, and I'm gonna get my vote back right now because sorry, buddy, but I don't want you to have it. So, anyways, yeah.
Eastern Pacific Ocean since early September. As of Friday, the number of node boat strikes is 35 and the number of people killed is at least 115, and that is according to numbers from the Trump administration. On my end here, I am just refreshing our feeds here to see if we're getting any more information. Okay, so we are just getting this in here. The U.S. Attorney General saying Maduro and his wife will face charges after New York indictment. So that's just coming in here. We're going to work on our end to see if we can get a post or a statement on that. I'm going to ask my producer behind the scenes to be looking for that for me here, and we'll pull it up on your screen once we do get it. We're also learning here that Maduro supporters gathering in the downtown Capitol there. As you can see on your screen, this is a live look. Let's just turn up the sound here. What I'm going to do on my end, I'm going to be working to get some more posts here for you. Coming in here. My producer pulled that up for us, and I do want to share it with you on your screen right now. So this post coming in from Attorney General Pam Bondi. She says this morning, Nicolas Maduro and his wife have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. Nicolas Maduro has been charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices.
Damn.
Soon face the full
I
wrath
don't
of
know.
American justice on
This is
American
rough.
soil and American courts.
You're loud
On
as
behalf
shit.
of the entire U.S. DOJ, I would like to thank President Trump for having the courage to demand accountability on behalf of the American people, and a huge thank you
My
to
mic
Corey's
not working
military
at
who
all.
conducted the incredible and highly successful mission to capture
No,
the
it's
two
working.
alleged international narco traffickers. So
Okay.
this just coming in here from Attorney General Pam Bondi as we continue to learn more information. Pam Bondi confirming that Venezuelan leader Maduro and his wife are going to face charges after a New York indictment. So once again, let's just read this to you in full again, because this is all coming in here quite rapidly. Nicolas Maduro and his wife have been indicted in the Southern District of New York. Nicolas Maduro has been charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, possession of machine guns and destructive devices, and conspiracy to possess machine guns and destructive devices against the United States. Bondi also saying they will soon face the full wrath of American justice on American soil in American courts. We do have more reaction coming in here from several lawmakers. This is from Senator Tom Cotton. He says Nicolas Maduro wasn't just an illegitimate dictator. He also ran a vast drug trafficking operation. That's why he was indicted in U.S. court nearly 6 years ago for drug trafficking and narco-terrorism. I just spoke to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who
He's a
confirmed that Maduro
country.
is
He's
in U.S. custody and will face justice for his crimes against our citizens. I commend President Trump and our brave troops and law enforcement officers for this incredible operation. The interim government in Venezuela must now decide whether to continue the drug trafficking and colluding with adversaries like Iran and Cuba, or whether to act like a normal nation and return to the civilized world. I urge them to choose wisely. So once again, from Senator Tom Cotton, but we also
the
have
drugs
this
is
here
definitely
from
not okay.
Representative
We
Jimenez,
don't like that.
as he says, I have
But,
just spoken to Secretary of State Marco Rubio. President Trump has changed the course of history in our hemisphere. Our country and the world are safer for it. Today's decisive action in this hemisphere is equivalent to the fall of the Berlin Wall. It's a big day in Florida. And we also did want to share with you here that we are going to be joined by Representative Jimenez. He is going to be joining us live on Live Now from Fox. We just got this word in here. 1 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to be getting Representative Jimenez's reaction live. So do tune in with us here on Live Now from Fox. He ends this by saying we are forever grateful to President Trump and to our brave service members for this stellar military operation. Gracias. So this live look here once again out of Venezuela, as we do anticipate this press conference from President Trump at 11 a.m. Eastern time to hopefully learn more details about all of this. So we did just learn here this breaking news as these details are coming in. Attorney General Pam Bondi is saying Maduro and his wife will face charges. And we do see these supporters for Maduro gathering now in the Capitol.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store preloaded with 20 hand-picked products that are trending
Absolutely
around the
not.
world.
Hello and welcome back to Reality Check. Well, this week we've got something special. You might remember back in December 2019, President Trump signed into law.
What's happening?
Yeah.
In New Jersey. What are you saying?
So something that was observable by some sensors and not by other sensors, and that's really the common thread between a lot of these things. Like it'll show up on visual, like a guy sees it with his eyes and he sees it with a thermal sensor, but it isn't showing up on radar. Or something where they'll see it on radar, but they can't pick it up on other sensors. And of course, there are some things where it's multi-sensor, but in general, when I say something weird, it's not obviously just drone, or weird in that it's acting in ways we don't expect. Like, how does something move so quickly and not have any skin heating? Why isn't it white hot if it's moving that fast through the air? How can it change direction so quickly without the airframe tearing apart? That's what I mean by weird. And Look, I don't know what this stuff is.
When you say but weird, like what was observed?
So the weird thing that was observed was primarily that there was something there in an area that it shouldn't have been, and that there shouldn't have been anything. There should not have been anything that was able to endure for that long in that area with those characteristics. Like these little tiny drones that cannot show up on radar and that can, kind of hide in place like that. They don't have hours and hours and hours of endurance, right? They fly for 25, 30 minutes tops. And then also they typically would need to be launched by something, right close to there. And the particular area it was in, it would have been really hard to launch from one of the nearby areas, get over the water, get to there, and then stay there as long as it did. It's not the weirdest thing that people have seen though. Like the Hellfire thing recently with the missile. That was some of the weirdest stuff that I've seen.
That's so weird because it got hit and it just shook it off and kept moving.
And it looks almost like there were like pieces. It's like so reconstituted.
Right, like it took pieces of it.
So I don't know if you've done. Everyone wants to believe that it's aliens, and like that's what I want to believe.
Of course.
I don't think that it is a foreign adversary. Like I don't buy into the idea that the Chinese or the Russians have secretly figured this out. But then the question is, okay, well, what does that leave? And I feel like my gut is that it's something that is weirder than anything that anyone has made popular. Like just as an example, it's literally bleeding in from some parallel dimension. It's an energy signature, and it's co-aligned by accident rather than intent, right? Like it's there because there's something in its parallel universe that is similar to what we're doing, and that's why they're co-aligned. Like I know this sounds like weirdo mumbo jumbo, but it seems like something like that even would be more likely. Did you ever read Michael Critchen's novel The Sphere, or was it just Sphere?
No.
All right. You mind if I spoil Sphere for you?
Please.
So there was a movie. It was not nearly as good as the book. So in Sphere, without spoiling the ending, the very beginning of it is you have this researcher who is brought out to this secret naval research facility in the Pacific Ocean because the Navy has discovered a massive object, multiple kilometers long, lying on top of a shallow coral reef on some atoll covered in coral that appears to be a spacecraft, an alien spacecraft. And they figured out that when it crashed thousands of years ago there, it probably crashed onto an island, which then sea levels rose, and then it became covered. So they basically figure out it must have been there for about 3,000 or 4,000 years, this spaceship. And so the Navy is going, and they're trying to figure out what it is. They're scraping coral off this ship. They bring in this researcher, and as the researcher is being brought to the site, they discover for the first time what they've been looking for, a door into the air. They were scraping the croft, looking for some way in through this ultra tough metallic alloy that had never been observed ever in nature or science.
Okay.
And then the big reveal of
piece of shit. Okay. I'll take a real pause. All of the fucking mics are just so low. Microphone webcam. See, look what I'm dealing with here.